Hey guys, welcome to Interesting Video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a NILAH top supplementary guide. The build runes exactly the same as the NILAH updated complete guide that I posted. I will put that video up in the cards above if you guys want to take a look at the runes, the build, and as well as the spells. But I mean, you can see the spells, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So for context, I actually got like an A in this match, like top 81% of NILAH, but for some reason after that, when I show the stats later, it doesn't really show that. But either way, I don't think I deserve the A anyways. This match is one of the most horrendous NILAH matches I ever played in terms of me just whiffing ults, doing pretty stupid stuff all throughout the match. But also, we do some mistakes in lane, but we also do some really good things in lane. So really, this video is really to talk a lot more about NILAH in the top lane, but not really NILAH as a champion. Of course, we'll have to talk about that just because we're playing her, but it's more so about the top lane. So here you can see we're against a Teemo. So you can see here that Teemo's main game plan involves just shooting his auto attacks slash his slash his Q on us, and the Q blinds us. So basically, whenever we get hit by his Q, we can't trade. So here you can see, like, we try to trade, we get hit by Q, and we basically lose the trade. So this is like the third time he's blinded me in this particular lane. Of course, I'm not yet level 3, so I don't have my W. So now that I have my W, now there's some counterplay. Because when he tries to blind me, I can W the blind, which I don't do here. Morgana comes in, I try to go onto the Teemo, and we are able to blow his barrier and his flash. I exhaust him to try to get the slow, but he goes invis, so we are not able to chase him down anyways, which is basically Morgana here is built me out big time, because with Morgana here, Teemo blows both sums, which basically makes the lane a lot easier for me. Of course, we don't get the kill, but it makes the lane a lot easier for me. So here you can see I'm going in for the aggressive trade, trying to get the kill onto him, but he does really well here by holding his Q until after my W runs out, and he's able to blind me after my W runs out, which basically means I can't finish the kill because my auto attacks don't do damage. So good play both by me and by the Teemo, and you will see that now that I have my W up, and now that I've basically figured out how the matchup works, which really is not that hard to figure out. We are basically going to be doing a little bit better in this matchup in terms of trying to more actively dodge Teemo's blind, and basically it's just a skill match. If we dodge Teemo's blind, we're always going to win the trade slash maybe even kill him. Whereas if we get hit by the blind, we're always going to lose the trade, and always, like this, for example, we're always going to lose the trade. Even if, for example, we W immediately after he hits the blind, he's not going to be able to attack us and follow up, but we're still getting hit by the blind like this, as you guys can see, and we're still going to take damage and basically lose the trade. So as I mentioned, it's really just a test of skill, mostly for the NILAH player, not for the Teemo player, because the Teemo player can't really do very much, because he normally just starts off with the blind and auto. The only thing the Teemo player could maybe do to try to outplay is to, instead of trying to blind first, he tries to auto first to bait out the W and then blind afterwards. So here you can see, there it is. I actually dodged the blind using my W, and because of that, I'm able to get a good trade onto the Teemo, and basically, this is how the whole thing is going to work. So the main difference between NILAH in the top lane and NILAH in the bot lane is obviously pretty simple. The matchups are completely different. You don't have a support with you. It's a 1v1 matchup instead of a 2v2 matchup. So it's the same as basically any other top lane matchup. You are basically NILAH is just a melee carry, decent in the early game. Honestly, has a little bit of damage in the early game, decent, but really good when you hit like 3 items, 2 items, like really strong after that. So basically, your main goal is, obviously, if possible, get kills in lane and snowball, but that, in my opinion, is pretty unlikely. This is the, second or third time I'm playing NILAH, and from my experience, I really don't think you can kill people in the top lane. Like, if you're against a tank like a Garen or a Darius, you're likely not gonna kill them unless they make a mistake. If you're against a carry, and by carry I mean like range matchups, let's say a Vayne top, a Teemo top, Cannon, that kind of thing, you are a lot more likely to get a kill because they are actually more squishy, but at the same time, you're also going to get harassed a lot more, like what you guys saw Teemo do to me. So here you can see, once again, I dodged the blind. I'm able to go in full all in, but unfortunately, the mistake that I made here is I went all in a little bit too late. So what I mean by that is, now Teemo's flash and barrier just came back up. So basically, by going all in here, he blows his flash and barrier again, but because he does that, I'm not able to pick up the kill. So if I went in like a little bit earlier, when his flash and barrier were down, this should have been a guaranteed kill. So another mistake made by me here, not tracking his summoner spells properly. But yeah, so here Pantheon tried to hover, so can't play overly aggressive. Of course, we saw him in the river from that control ward vision, so we do know that of course he's there, which is why we didn't overcommit onto the Teemo. So here we have a constant summoner spell advantage against him ever since that Morgana gank. We have not had to use our flash yet, so we always have flash advantage on him, which basically means we always kind of have kill pressure as long as we play the lane correctly. So that's one of the good things that I'm kind of doing in this lane. So yeah, of course I'd rather play against a Teemo that I have some kind of kill potential against than play against like a Garen or a Darius, which I kind of don't really have kill potential against. And honestly, they do a lot more damage than you think. So they can trade well with you, and it's just really hard matchup, you know, for you to play. But of course, NILAH is just kind of my go-to champion when I get top lane, because it's a champion that I know how to play, and it's not like, you know, some kind of egregious like ADC top, you know. So here again, I try to go in on him, and here I'm just, you know, just auto-attacking him down. Unfortunately, once again, he goes invis and I can't attack him, which is pretty annoying. Maybe I should have gone for control ward to, of course, circumvent this problem, but I really don't think getting control ward allowed me to kill him here anyway, so I don't really think that there's very much I could have done about it. And if I like control ward him, I can't control ward the river, and basically I'm really prone to getting ganked by Pantheon, so that's not good either. So here I'm full health and he's about half health. I remove his first strike, and here he actually baited me to use my W because I thought that was his Q and it was actually his auto attack. So here I have my W down a bit, which is why I'm not really going aggressive or going in. Here with the wave pushed out, I was thinking of a roam mid, but I realized that there's no play to be made because both Kai'Sa and Orianna are low, so there's not really anything to be done. So I'm just hiding in this bush to stay out of vision, to basically just threaten the enemy because they don't know where I am. And because of that, they're forced to kind of respect and play safe. Here I wait for Morgana to show up. Teemo just, I don't know what he's doing, he's just running across. And here we are going to go for the kill on the Pantheon. And here Morgana actually smites early, and MF nearly steals the Herald. But thankfully with my Q, I'm able to actually secure the Herald. And you know, because of this, we can actually Herald mid, which is going to give us a lot more gold to kind of accelerate our matchup. In the meantime, we take a huge Q off of the MF Q. But anyways, here Kai'Sa and Sett actually back away from the tower, which means that I actually got the full tower playing goal not shared amongst the three of us, which is huge. I can look at my goal now. Of course, I have only one assist here on the Pantheon, and I'm 1k gold up on Teemo, and the 1k gold mostly comes from that tower plates and as well as the tower itself. So here Teemo's back. He has Runan's Hurricane first item. I have my Bloodthirster. He blinds me. I'm not too concerned because now with Bloodthirster, I can just lifesteal off of the way. So here I go all in again. Honestly, here if I flashed in onto the tower, which I could have done, I would have gotten the kill here. But I was not sure I could survive because I would take like 2 tower shots. I wasn't 100% sure I could survive. So I decided to err on the side of caution and not go for the play. But as you guys can see here, now with the Bloodthirster, the matchup changes completely because any poke Teemo does to me, I can just heal back up using my Bloodthirster healing on the minion wave. So essentially now after Bloodthirster, you should be kind of hard winning this matchup. So we get the tower here, and I was thinking of recalling here, but then I realized I could maybe set a trap for Teemo because Teemo doesn't have flash and barrier now, so he's really vulnerable. So I'm waiting here behind vision. I try to guess where he is. Unfortunately, I miss, but here I'm able to exhaust him mainly for the slow, and he blinds me a little bit for the slow. I flash over his ulti so that I don't get slow, and I barely actually managed to pick up the kill on him. They're finally capitalizing on my summoner spell advantage, and I'm finally able to actually pick up the kill onto him. So here what we're doing is, of course, we're just going to clear out the wave and back, but since Malphite's here, I don't know if he has all or not, and he's full AP, so I don't want to take any risks. I'm just going to quickly just, you know, stay away from the wave and just quickly just, you know, back off. No reason to take any kind of unnecessary risk. So of course next we're going to be building towards our IE, and now with top lane down, we're going to try to rotate mid to see if a play can be made because it looks like Morgana and Ori are both there, so maybe something can be done here.
Enemy turret destroyed. Unstoppable.
So here obviously we find a pick with the Sett onto the Malphite. Really nice, you know, continue to get kills and continue to sort of snowball. You can see that despite Ori being 4-1 and like Morgana being 3-2, Kai'Sa is like you know 9-2. So my team is like doing really well. But you can see that in terms of goal, I'm actually nearly on par with Orianna. I'm actually ahead of Morgana. And this mainly, of course, came from the tower plates and the tower gold. And also, of course, from just pretty much just farming well against the Teemo, despite the fact that we're playing melee into ranged. So here I believe we have IE, which is the main reason why we are backing here. And yeah, we do get our IE, so huge 2-item power spike. Now honestly we are gonna be pretty useful, and we can actually just you know, go for a play with our team if we can. So here looks like something's happening in mid, which is why we head straight on to mid. And here we get charmed by Ahri. We try to negate it with our W, which we actually honestly do negate most of the damage with our W, but unfortunately Malphite is there to ult us and finish us off with his full combo, so nothing much we can really do here. But it looks like our team is doing pretty well in this particular situation here. MF gets caught and basically burns to death from Morgana's I don't know, the puddle. I forgot what that's called, but yeah, gets burned by the puddle. Morgana's in no man's land, kind of stuck behind, while Pantheon ults in on the rest of the team. Morgana goes down. Ori out, kind of a huge whiff there, and Set is able to get off a huge W, but whiffs the E, and my team is just gonna start backing off now.
Your team has slain the dragon.
Alright, so here now we have basically respawn, so there's nothing too much to do on the map here. Honestly, there's a huge wave at top that I could have gone for, but unfortunately I went to the wrong side of the map. So instead of wasting time walking all the way to the top to collect the huge wave, which I'm expecting you know, someone else to do, which you can see Ori's passing towards top, so that's you know, good. We're instead just gonna farm the jungle. So here we basically farm the whole bot side jungle. Morgana is you know, on the opposite side of the map, so we're just gonna secure the red buff for ourselves. Of course, it would be better if Morgana was here to share it with us, but you know, she's a mage, and the red buff is not essential to her, so it's easier to just take it instead of just leaving it up and waiting around for her to take it eventually when we don't know when that is. So here we can spot the enemy team all rotating to mid. So clearly a mid play is going to happen. So first up, we ward to make sure we can see, you know, the coming and goings of the enemy team, and we're trying to clear the mid lane safely, letting the wave crash in the tower, and basically just trying to prevent them from getting you know, any kind of the tower or meaningful tower damage. Now Orianna really pushed up in the top lane. Looks like a clear-cut case where the enemy team can collapse on her, so I'm trying to ping her back, and the collapse is indeed happening. I believe she does get caught, and I'm not sure if she dies here. Yep, she does go down, so obviously very deserved death from overextending, you know, all the way up there. But yeah, so one of the issues I had in this particular match is I feel that I had pretty low impact, because I spent majority of the early game just farming in the top lane. Now that I have items, I'm trying to make something happen, but the fights are not breaking out. It's just like everyone's just walking around, and the fight is not really happening. And essentially, like you can see, like this is like the third time in mid where we're basically just walking around, and for some reason Set decides to flash out the Ahri who has crown up, and basically he trades his flash and ult for the crown cooldown, which is a completely bad deal for my team, and nothing really happens here. Like, it's just like after I'm ready to fight, it's just like a waste of time, because I keep going mid, nothing happens, and I'm not really farming because I'm at mid trying to get a fight, like trying to start a fight with my team, but the fight doesn't break out, so nothing happens. I'm just wasting time, and it just feels like I'm really useless because, you know, I'm ready to fight but no fights happening, and it's just pretty annoying. So I'm gonna go back to farming here. So I'm farming the bot side jungle again, and you can see as I'm farming the bot side jungle, it looks like a fight's about to break out again. So whenever I'm not there, a fight's gonna happen, and when I'm there, the fight's not gonna happen, which is kind of yeah, you guys can see the situation. So here MF essentially pushed in the bot wave, so what we're doing is we're going to push out the bot wave. We're going to push one more wave to ensure that our team actually has the push, and then we can try to rotate mid, where once again it looks like a fight is about to break out. So here we are, you know, trudging our way up there. It looks like a fight's gonna break out in the top side jungle. I'm trying to ping that I'm on my way and hoping my team doesn't fight without me. I don't know why Kai'Sa's walking away from the fight, but yeah, the fight does end up breaking out, but Kai'Sa's not there to DPS. Ori is so far away, and looks like a really bad fight for my team. Here I basically get comboed, but I flash in to go for the MF. I have to slow her down with the exhaust, and now I get stunned by Pantheon and I end up dying. So you see what, like basically this was just a case of the itchy fingers. Like I'm trying to get a fight for so long, I see a fight and I just flash in with my ulti, which is really not the best idea. So, you know, I was really impatient there. I probably should have just waited a little bit, or you know, gotten there earlier so I could actually take advantage of Set's engage. But really, this was a really poor fight, not just from me, but also from my whole team. Because Set and Morgana basically tries to full commit. Ori is low, so she's running away. And Kai'Sa looks like she doesn't want to fight at all. I think she wants to farm or something because she's constantly posturing away from the fight. And meanwhile, I had to clear the bot wave, so I have to make my way up top to the fight. So basically, your 3 main damage dealers are not really ready to fight for one reason or another. And the Set and Morgana wants to fight, and they have gone in for the fight. And yeah, it was just pretty bad from my whole team overall. So anyways, here the next dragon is coming up, and this is actually Dragon Soul for my team. So here once again just back to farming the bot side jungle. Essentially the bot side jungle essentially just became my farming area because I'm barely barely getting waves and stuff because my whole team is kind of just going all over the place doing that. So here I'm just going to focus the dragon, and we have actually 3 items now, and we're eating a huge MF ult in the back of the pit, so we're gonna have to dash out. So once again here, a fight breaks out, but we are at the wrong side of the pit because we had to dash out and not we'll tank the whole MF ult. And by the time the fight really breaks out, my whole team has chased them to the other side of the river already, and I'm not gonna catch up to them. So the better use of my time is just to once again, you know, push out the bot lane. And here I'm realizing that only Malphite's alive, so I'm pinging my team to go Baron. You can see I'm pinging for Baron here, and in the meantime I'm gonna do typical top laner stuff, which is to split push. Misclick my W here, which could have been a mistake if Malphite decides to go for me and he tries to one-shot me. He has 2 items. I'm not sure if he can one-shot me. I really don't think so, but still a risk anyway. So I secured the tower, but since the enemy team is respawning, I can't overextend because Pantheon can ult and engage onto me, and of course his team is ready to follow up because they all respawn at the same time. So instead, I'm going to secure tier 2 tower, secure 2 camps on the enemy jungle, and back. So you can see one thing I've been doing very, very well this game is keeping up my farm. You can see that even though I'm 3, 2, and 3, I actually have more farm than my 14 kill Kai'Sa, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. I've been farming waves, farming enemy jungle, farming my own jungle, farming everywhere, all in preparation for a fight, which so far only had one where I flashed in and just died. So one good thing I've been doing this game, and as I mentioned, is farm very well. Something bad I've been doing is I'm not being able to find good fights. So here, I was just going to burn to death. I was going to flash forward to finish the kill, but no reason to waste my flash on the KS. So here, once again, looks like a fight's going to break out in mid, so let's see what actually happens. Set does go in for the engage. I'm trying to go in on to MF, but Set ults her away, and I don't know if I would have reached there in the first place. She might have just cancelled out and flashed away, and instead I just get chunked out huge and I have to lifesteal off of the jungle monster. So once again, essentially I did nothing in this fight. That's why this is such a horrible NILAH gameplay, but it's literally mainly to show you NILAH top in the sense that showing what she can do in terms of top lane matchup like against the team. Like the first I don't know 10 minutes of the video or what was not too bad, but honestly I've not had a good team fight the entire game, which is why I honestly say I don't deserve that A whatsoever. So I don't mind that it doesn't show up at all. So here, my team is making the classic mistake of trying to force, you know, without Baron and without Elder. Like, what can you really do against the enemy team here? Unless the enemy team is stupid enough to walk out and get caught, there's no way you're going to end the game here. So here, while me and Orianna are 2-manning the Elder Dragon, we're just going to take a look at what my team is doing here. In the base. So you can see Kai'Sa does get pretty good damage, but you can see nothing is getting done here. So Set flashes for the ult again, but again nothing happens because the enemy team is literally right next to that fountain. Like, how are we gonna kill them, you know, without any kind of Elder or without any kind of advantage? I mean, we do have Ocean Soul, but that's not gonna help us do damage. It's only gonna help us heal. So here you can see the insane burst damage that you have. Malphite's forced to ult away. At this point, as I said, 3-item NILAH really strong, can basically just one-shot people. At this point, Orianna whiffs another huge ult. So here I'm really itching for just a one-shot or a kill before the game ends. So I know I'm gonna go for it with the Elder buff as well. I'm waiting for opportunity, looking for a target. I spot the Malphite and I'm going in, and I spot the Ahri. I'm going in as well. So finally I get, you know, at least a little bit of action at the end of the game. But yeah, not really the best in terms of team fights, but still laning phase and all, pretty good example. So I'm going to be leaving you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.